Welcome back everybody to Dead Sound Media, episode 4. So, I know this series is called Music You Should Listen To, and yes, I'm recommending songs and bands that I think you should listen to, but what I'm also doing is talking about the band itself, as well as how they got together, reading the message behind the music videos, its members, how they got together, how they became one, if they're still one. Basically what I'm saying is, I talk about more than just what songs you should listen to and the bands you should listen to. So, because of that, while we're still early on, I am going to change it from music you should listen to getting to know. So, today's episode, getting to know the Marias. Alrighty, so welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the Marias. So the Marias is an indie LA-based band, but they're able to describe themselves in a much more prettier way. So they formed in Los Angeles in late 2016. The Marias are a smooth rendezvous of jazz percussion, hypnotic guitar riffs, smoke, velvet vocals, and nostalgic horn solos. There's something undeniably sensual in the group's dreamlike fusion of jazz, psychedelia, funk, and lounge. Beautiful. The members themselves consists of Maria Zardoya, who is vocals and guitar, Josh Conway, drums, producer, and Vox, Carter Lee, bass, Edward James, keys, and Jesse Perlman, lead guitar and Vox. So how they formed. Maria was performing solo in West Hollywood for the Laurel Canyon Music Revival series, where Josh Conway was filling in as a sound engineer. That's how they got together. It was just them two at first, and after writing a couple songs together, they realized that they wanted to go all in. So they brought in a few friends, and that's how the Marias were formed. Honestly, the Marias have achieved quite a bit in the few short years that they've been together. They have almost 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify. They performed at Coachella in 2018 and at Tropicalia in 2018 and 2019. Just a side note, that lineup for Tropicalia in 2019 on Sunday, amazing. I'm probably going to talk about all of them eventually. They're all great. Back to the Marias. So having formed in 2016 and then releasing their first EP the very next year, I think that's pretty incredible, to be honest. And then having the following that they do, they don't have a studio album out yet. I think it's really incredible the following that they've gained, and they don't really have an album out yet. They do have 2 EPs, but no album. So one thing that I think makes the Marias really special is in terms of their music video concepts. I think it's really different. A lot of their music videos have a lot of film references. So let's start with the Marias Over the Moon. This was released on November 2nd, 2018. And looking at the music video, if you're a film student, I think you would automatically make the connection at what they were trying to mirror. It instantly gave me A Trip to the Moon vibes. A Trip to the Moon is a 1902 film by George Méliès. George Méliès. There is a lot to compare here actually, aside from going to the moon. Maria, in her music video, she's dressed in all white from head to toe, and in A Trip to the Moon, there's a scene where there's this woman there in space, and she's dressed in all white as well from head to toe, and then there's people around her. And just as well in the claymation for the Marias, there's all her bandmates all around her as well. So last year on April 15th, I had gone to the Los Feliz Theater. I think it was, theater in Los Feliz. But it was a really, really tiny, small movie theater, and that's where they were having their music video release. So it's like, as you walk in, there's these girls in black cloaks holding red roses. I want to say it was red roses. And as you're walking down, and then you go inside the aisles and it's the regular seating of a movie theater, they show the music video, and then they have a Q&A. So the music video itself, at the time, it reminded me so much of the new Suspiria by Luca Guadagnino, and just in everything of all women and in cloaks and just really dark. And now that I'm watching it again, it still gives me those vibes, but I was re-listening to the audio that I had recorded, and they were talking about how the music video itself represents anxiety, and what Maria was saying in terms of accepting her anxiety, not necessarily inviting them in, but just accepting it.
It was me sort of accepting them into my life and not trying to sort of fight it. It was just, I'm not going to invite you guys in, but I'm going to accept that you're there, that it's a part of my life, that it's always been a part of my life. And it probably will continue being a part of my life.
A key member I forgot to mention, his name is Ian Lipton. He had been with the Marias basically since day one. He directed a lot of their music videos, and he said that the music video definitely has a lot of French New Wave influence to it.
Yeah, like French New Wave cinema, as well as, that sort of thing.
And as I continued my research, I came upon this article on Vice about the Marias, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely see the comparisons between A Trip to the Moon and Over the Moon, and also ABQ and Suspiria, all these comparisons. And then I read the Vice article, and they're like, oh yeah, we already knew about that. And they even go one more music video in and talk about Cariño, where it pays a tribute to 60s French New Wave cinema. So Ian Lipton definitely has a favorite type of film genre, which we appreciate. But all jokes aside, the Marias, their sound is very soulful and dreamlike, and she does have songs where she does sing in Spanish, but even if you don't speak Spanish, you still appreciate what she's saying, even if you don't understand. Even though their sound is very dreamlike, I wouldn't put them in the dream pop category because they're not poppy like that. It's very much more slow and not as happy. So as I had mentioned before, they don't have any albums out, but they do have 2 EPs. Super Clean Volume 1, which was released on November 3rd, 2017, with a total of 6 songs, as well as Super Clean Volume 2, which was released on September 28th, 2018, with a total of 6 songs as well. So if you wanted to check the Marias out, one of their really, really popular songs that I think probably got a lot of people introduced to the Marias in the first place is I Don't Know You. One of my personal favorite songs is Over the Moon, and another song called Drip, which features Triathlon. Ooh. I also forgot to mention that in the ABQ music video, they had used a pit bull because their little Aussie didn't seem very, didn't fit the type that they were looking for in the music video. So, they had to go get a little pity.
No, actually, the dog is not ours, but the dog does belong to someone here.
Where's Gonzo?
And he might be at the merch table.
He's eating a burrito at the merch table.
He's eating a burrito. No, the dog is Gonzo's, and her name is Queenie. And
she was a rescue pit that he adopted, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and he has no idea what's happened in her past, but he knows that it wasn't a good one, but she's the most loving pit bull ever, and yeah, so we wanted her to be a part of the video because Lucy was just too cute for this.
She was in the last video.
She was just too cute. We needed a dog with a little bit of edge and a little bit of an anxious past. And Queenie had that, and she was great. She was so great, and we're super thankful that she was able to be part of the video.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. So how they one of